Hey everyone, I'm here with my boys, Trent and Reed, and we thought it would be kind of nice for us to make some videos for you, kind of how-to videos. So it might be a science experiment, it might be a game, maybe an exercise. Today we're baking some blueberry muffins because they've been asking to do that for quite some time, and I had all the ingredients at home. And that's the other thing we're going to try and do, is to do things that most people would have in their home, or maybe you would only have to go out and buy a thing or two. So today we're doing blueberry muffins. As you can see, I've prepared everything ahead of time to make it fast. We've already washed our hands. Super important when you're baking to wash your hands. And we've preheated the oven because we want it to be warm before we put the muffins in. And you have to preheat the oven to 400. I'll put all the directions in a file for you guys so that you have it should you want to make the blueberry muffins. The other thing I did ahead of time was I sprayed the pan. If you have muffin liners, you can use muffin liners. If not, just use the spray pan. All right, so the first direction is to preheat the oven to 400 degrees, which we've already done. And we have our large bowl. You need a large bowl. And the first ingredient you're going to put in is the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, and the salt. So Trent is going to put in the flour. We used 1.5 cups of flour. So 1.5 cups of flour. And this is a great activity to teach math as well. So we have 1.5 cups. Let's say we wanted to double the recipe, because instead of 12 muffins, we wanted 24. Instead of 1.5 cups of flour,
two and a half.
Close. 1.5 plus 1.5 is?
Oh, 2 or 2.
3.
1.
I know it's tricky.
3.
1.5 plus 1.5 is 3. That's a tricky one. We're just learning about decimals, so that's hard. Trent's in grade 1 and Reed's in grade 4, so we're just learning about that stuff. So we have 1.5 cups of flour. We can't double the recipe because I just have enough blueberries, so we're just going to do a single recipe. So Trent, can you put that in the big bowl? All right. And then we're just going to put our dirty bowls right in the sink. So we don't have to worry about those anymore. And the next ingredient is the sugar, and we need 3/4 cups of sugar. This is another tricky one. If we were to double the recipe, 3/4 cup plus 3/4 cup
Would be...
that's a really
6.
hard one.
Oh, 6.5.
I know, it makes sense because of
Would be
the
a
3,
whole?
but it's a whole 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah, I know, it's tricky.
Oh, yeah.
It's tricky. So maybe later we could go onto paper and calculate it out. So this is 3/4 cup of sugar. We're going to put it in here. Very good.
That's cool.
And we're going to put the dirty plate in here. And then the next ingredient we're going to put in here is the baking powder, not baking soda, because sometimes we get that mixed up and that's a no-no. Okay, so baking powder and salt. So you need 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I just put them all in, yeah, this is the 1/2 teaspoon.
1/2 teaspoon.
That's a whole teaspoon. And I put both the salt and the baking powder just in here for simplicity's sake. All right.
Should I get all of it out?
Yippers. And then we want to kind of mix it together. So let's get, actually let's go in here.
Let's get this.
Okay. You want
So
to
we
gently
use
mix
the
the
spatula?
we've already done that.
Spatula.
The spatula, yeah, mix it.
Mix it up really
Mixing
well.
all the dry ingredients.
Really well.
And now it just looks like floury salt.
Make sure to scrape the sides.
So then not make it stuck on the sides and you don't get all the bits.
Okay, so then we're going to put this to the side. You can leave that in there if you want. And I'm going to get another bowl. I'll be right back. I bet it's in the dishwasher actually.
Probably.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
There we go. Okay. into another bowl. And reading the directions, we need to do the vegetable oil first. So we have a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, which is right here. Reed, do you want to gently put that in?
Make sure to get all of it.
I will stir. Yeah. Sometimes to get all of the wet ingredients, using a spatula
Yes.
really helps. Okay. And this was our 1/3 cup for the vegetable oil. And then a large egg. Trent, you want to?
Yay! 2 today.
Yes, 2 today, yeah. Okay, so you're going to crack it and... Okay.
Crack it very gently.
Okay, now let's put it above the bowl. Remember,
And
gently. Okay, and no shells. That's a winner.
No
Okay.
I
No shells.
I got shells on my hand. I made it cut myself.
No shells.
Shells.
Always get towels.
Always have a towel. Yeah, very important. Always have a towel. Okay.
Always have a towel here when you're
and
cooking.
then fill the cup. Okay. So for the milk, it calls for 1/3 to 1/2 cup. So I'm going to start with 1/3, and if I feel like I need more, then.
Yeah. If you put too much, then it might not work. So always put less.
Yeah, because you can add,
But you can't take.
but you can't take away. Exactly. So to stir this one, we're going to use. Does anybody know what this is called?
Mixer.
Wax.
Whisk. Whisk.
Okay.
Whisk.
Yay.
Okay.
It's white.
Oh, we have one more ingredient to add. I'll add it while you're whisking, okay? Vanilla. So,
Can I add it?
it's okay. 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Oh, sorry, did I splash you?
No, it just smells so bad.
Oh,
Vanilla should smell good.
well, it tastes good. If you didn't have the vanilla in the recipe, it wouldn't
Yeah.
taste very good.
Yes.
And
Okay.
blueberries.
Okay. Well, no, not yet. Do the blueberries last. So the next thing says to add the mixture to the bowl with flour and sugar. Then use a fork to combine. So I'll do this part, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Use a spatula to scrape everything out because you don't want to miss anything.
That's right.
Empty it all
Looks
out.
good. I want the whole thing.
Mix it.
So it says to mix with a fork.
Yeah.
So it says add the mixture to the bowl with flour and sugar, then use a fork to combine. Do not over mix. So let's do that first. So mix it with a fork.
You don't need to do it like you do with eggs, but you can if you want.
Yeah, it's not like you do eggs. It's a little bit different. We're just turning it and turning it.
Get less ones.
Maybe I'll do the rest. Might have to add that extra milk, but we'll see.
The fork,
It gets it better.
it mixes it a lot. It turns it a lot better because there's holes in it.
Oh, that's a good observation.
Yes.
I know, but
because it goes
whisk
through.
Add a little bit of
but the
milk.
whisk has holes in it too. And look at it's clean. There's no other bit of egg on it, but that don't matter.
So maybe the 1/2 cup of milk might
The
have been
half
better.
a cup, yes, because because everything when I was mixing it was like really dry and everything wasn't getting all mixed. It was really dry. So
It smells bad. I hope it smells better once we start baking
Yeah,
it.
it will.
Maybe there's something wrong with your smeller. Okay, a tiny bit more milk. Okay, I'm gonna finish mixing it.
It kind of looks like cake with no
Like
toppings.
like Dad's trying to make his dad's specials when he's like mixing up the.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
So my husband, their dad, Dave, makes these cookies, and they are not called the Dad Special. They came off of the internet, but the kids love them so much, and he makes them probably once a week, every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and they've called them the Dad Special. Mommy bakes and cooks all the time. I don't have anything named after me. But anyways, maybe this blueberry muffin could be the mom special. Alright, so let's get the spatula. So the next step is to fold in the blueberries. We don't want to use the fork for that because the blueberries will get all squished.
Can I mix it?
So you can. So we're going to use the spatula to do the blueberries.
And you want to get frozen blueberries?
Yeah, we didn't have any fresh ones. So remember how we talked about just I use stuff that we have in the house? We happen to have some frozen blueberries. You could probably do this recipe with other things too, like strawberries maybe or blackberries.
Strawberries, blackberries, really anything.
Bananas too.
Okay.
You might be able to.
Maybe.
Like little bits of bananas.
Maybe.
But we're doing it with blueberries because we like
Should we get all of
We
it
do
out?
like blueberries,
Make sure
yeah.
we get all the juice out.
Okay, and Trent's
Mixer
gonna
time.
stir up, mixer.
No. Oh, the yellow turned blue.
Yeah, so sometimes with frozen blueberries that will happen, right? Because
It
they
turned.
melt a little bit. Oh
it's
my
all-
gosh, it looks good. Let's show them.
And it's all hand mixed too, no
Yeah.
mixer. You
Yeah,
can use
I'm
a
just
mixer.
gonna help- I'm
You
just
can
gonna help
use a
you get to the
mixer if you
bottom.
want, but if you don't have it,
Okay, so I am back with my sons Reed and Trent, and they're done. So a couple of things. The video cut off at the end. We are clearly not professionals. I noticed that it's crooked. My house is not crooked. It's our ability to video that's crooked. Yeah, cut off at the end. So basically we just finished mixing it. We filled the muffin tins about halfway or so, just enough to fill in the 12. And then we popped it into our oven that was preheated to 400 degrees. We did 18 minutes. The recipe says 15 to 20. Everybody's oven runs a little bit differently. I've made muffins before and know that 18 is perfect for mine. And here they are. So they're a little bit more blue than if we would have used fresh blueberries. Again, the frozen ones just have a bit of a
Blueness.
yeah, it
thing.
just makes the batter
And
blue.
It makes it
Yeah.
blue.
Okay, so you said you already knew which one you were gonna get.
Yes.
Which one is it?
It was this one.
'Cause it's the
Actually,
biggest?
No, this one because it has more
Which one do
blueberries.
you want? I'll take that one. All
Try
right,
it?
let's give it a try. Say it's good even if it's not.
It still is good.
Mmm.
There's a bit.
really good.
They're good? Thank God.
I know, but the oil, I can feel it running down my throat. The oil is too. Like it smells weird, but it tastes.
I haven't got a problem with your smeller. Because everything smells weird.
I have an
really
idea.
good.
I have an idea.
All right.
I'm gonna show the people something. I'm gonna make a sandwich.
No, Trent.
I want to make
No,
a sandwich.
I know what you want to do. We have a whipping cream in our fridge, so I know what he wants to do. Well, thanks everybody. I hope you try it. And we will do another video of something. We're going to come up with something this week. Bye.